Woman's mating strategy boils down to wanting everything and not being satisfied with what they have, which leads many women to destroy their stable relationship trying to satisfy their mating strategy. Thank you very much for being with us. I'm Pat Tekateka, a medical doctor and an evolutionary psychology enthusiast oriented towards finance and relationship with the goal to transform our lives, improve who we are, and better explore our potential. This is the main goal of our space. So in this video, we will be talking about the female mating strategy. We already have analyzed basic aspects of in the previous video when we have been talking about the male mating strategy. If you haven't seen this video yet, please watch it, and it contains essential components about sex and different mating strategies. Whenever we generally discuss mating strategy, we talk about monogamy, polygamy, polyandry, polygynyandry, and promiscuity. And now we're gonna stop laughing. And why do we have to start laughing? Women's and their mating strategies. Women's and their issues. Unfortunately, women's mating strategy does not fit into any of these 5 categories. It's something entirely different from another planet. Surely, it can be something which came from the man's rib, of course. Firstly, women really like monogamy. Remember that we said women do not produce resources, and the most transformational component in our lives are resources. The most challenging component to achieve in life are resources. Remember, when we are speaking about the Maslow hierarchy of needs, many of the basic needs will be fulfilled with resources. Everything else is easy to do and doesn't require any special skill. Having a children doesn't need any special skill. Starting a family doesn't need any special skill, especially if it's a disastrous family. Making a child with anyone doesn't require any skill. Just get up, find someone in the corner, and you have made a child. You have made a family. It's difficult, yes, to have a family with 30 years, 40 years of relationship, where they look into each other with admiration, endure all the ups and downs, resist the temptations, and still stand firm like a rock. This is what is difficult in life. By nature, women cannot acquire resources compared to men, and resources and protection are the most important things in life. She will look for someone who can give her these things, resources and protection. She gravitates towards monogamy because she wants to ensure these resources and protection will be exclusively available only for her, allowing them to be long-lasting. If she accepts any other type of mating strategy besides monogamy, she will be forced to share these resources with other women, thereby benefiting from a smaller percentage. With the advent of feminism and modernity, situations arise that begin to normalize polyandry, a woman with several men. She will look for someone who has resources but lacks masculinity, and someone who has masculinity to complete the package of qualities she is looking for in a man, occupying different potentialities of different men, normally submissive individuals. Woman's mating strategy boils down to wanting everything and not being satisfied with what they have, which leads many women to destroy their stable relationship trying to satisfy their mating strategy. When they discover that to satisfy their mating strategy is not possible, and it's not possible to have what they already had, they want to return to the relationship. But if this man they want to return to, it's a dominant male, they will find that the doors are already closed because he always has options and he can replace her. He just have to exercise his options the same way women exercise their options. But the way a woman exercises their options is very different from the way a man exercises his options. We will discuss this difference and how a man and a female exercise their options in another video, in another analysis. And why does a high-value man have the right to exercise his options? Because he earned this right and merit to exercise his option. And he earned this through his achievements in all aspects that makes him a high-value man. In the same way that the woman can do when she exercises her options, but with different traits which will make her exercise her options. Continuing on the theme, a woman wants monogamy so she can have access to the resources and protection of this dominant male just for herself. Pay close attention to this. This will come later, this monogamy. Pay close attention to this. This monogamy will come later on. Before reaching monogamy, she needs to conquer and capture this dominant male and then seek to subject him to monogamy. Before capturing the dominant male, who is not yet hers, she must use hypergamy, which allows her to have the relationship with a man who has potential and skills that are much better than her own, mainly financial, intellectual, and academically, but primarily financial skills. We didn't talk about hypergamy in those 5 mating strategies. As I said, hypergamy can only have came from man's rib. She looked into that rib and she said, there is still some nectar here. I'm going to get this nectar. I'm going to invent something. And then she took the remaining nectar from the man's rib and she said, God didn't put this hypergamy in, so I'm going to invent it on my own. And eventually, hypergamy is here with us. She will always seek the best possible man, even the least attractive women's, without those looks, those accidental curves, dreams of conquering the best man she can. And she often confuses the man she can sleep with the one she can marry. Why is she so confused? Because she assumes men function like her. She gives her body to a man she considers a potential life partner. But for him, it's no longer just about sex. It's a game changer when he thinks about a serious relationship. All those traits, all those characteristics, all those requirements that he brought to the table when he wanted just sex will be dramatically changed when he's thinking about serious relationship. It's not only about beauty and body. A lot of things will come over to say, let's make you the right fit for this position. A woman always desires a man who can provide the best possible conditions. However, men have 2 different levels that guide their involvement with women's. From a woman perspective, offering her body is just the beginning, but for men, it's often seen differently. The men have 2 ladders, one for sex and the other one for relationship. And for a woman to move from the sex ladder to relationship ladder, she must prove herself. She must prove herself and she must prove her worth. Women always enter into a relationship believing that this man is the special one and he is already at the top level. And while he's into the relationship, he loses points in the woman's view. While for a male, the first stage is sex. And if the woman gains more points with the way she behaves, she will claim to the top position, which will be the woman he will desire to marry. In life, women will always control the availability of sex in society, deciding who will have and who won't. On the other hand, men decide who they will commit to and support financially. When a woman gives up sex, she unconsciously knows it's often the only thing she can initially offer a man, her sexuality. There is nothing else after her sexuality. When a man receives sexuality, he won't immediately offer resources and protection unless the woman meets his criteria for a long-term partner. Similarly, a woman won't give up her sexuality until she ensures the man fits all her criteria. If he doesn't, she will just reject him without hesitation. She will have many suitors, but only a few will meet her standards. Why? Hypergamy. Similarly, a high-value man will attract many women, but won't commit resources and protection easily. Each protects what they value most. A woman, her sexuality, and a man, his resources and protection. These dynamics shapes relationship, where convincing the other person determines progress. Unfortunately, women lost the protection of patriarchy when seeking freedom. Another critical point, when a woman decides to give her body, she often sees the man has a potential life partner, but the man might not see it the same way. It's driven by primal desire for sex. Providing resources and protection changes these dynamics. The woman must prove herself differently, not the way she has proven herself, for him to be able to receive her body and her sexuality. To sum up, success in life, relationship, and finances hinges on understanding these dynamics. Remember, a high-value man is built through discipline, patience, dedication, and a lot of repetition. So, invest in your skills because they will empower you. Invest in your skills because they will empower you. I am Patekateka Nkululeko, a medical doctor and an evolutionary psychology enthusiast focusing on success in life, relationship, and finances. Don't miss the next video for crucial insights on how to becoming a high-value man. Take care.
Isso quem controla é a mulher. A mulher é que decide quem vai fazer sexo e quem não vai fazer sexo. É a mulher que decide. Agora, quem vai assumir quem? Quem vai pagar as contas? Quem decide isso é o homem. E assumir uma mulher significa você aceitar pagar as contas. O homem. Então, a mulher, quando entrega o sexo, ela inconscientemente também já sabe. A única coisa que ela tem para oferecer para um homem é a sexualidade dela. É isso que o Patekateka disse. A mulher sabe na cabeça dela. A única coisa que ela tem para oferecer para um homem é a sexualidade. O homem, em contrapartida, quando recebe a sexualidade, não vai entregar os recursos e a proteção dele sem garantir que esta mulher encaixa em todas as condições que ele procura numa mulher. Mesmo jeito que uma mulher não vai aceitar entregar a sexualidade dela para um homem antes de garantir que este homem encaixa em tudo que ela está à procura. Quando não encaixa nas coisas que esta mulher está à procura, ela nega o homem. Quando o homem não encaixa no que ela quer, ela não dá sexo. Ela pensa 1000 vezes antes de dar sexo. Por isso que vão aparecer 100 homens a conquistar a mulher. Ela só vai aceitar um, vai aceitar 2. Mesmo jeito com a mulher, com o homem. Vão aceitar quando o homem é um homem de alto valor. Vão aparecer 100 mulheres querendo ser assumidas por ele. Vai aceitar. Cada um está protegendo o que tem de mais valioso. A mulher protege o que ela tem de mais valioso a oferecer a um homem, sexualidade. o homem pretege o que tem de mais valioso a oferecer a uma mulher, recursos de proteção. E aí vai a dança do flamingo a voar, do seu jeito. Quem conseguir convencer o outro, avança. Infelizmente, a mulher perdeu a proteção que o patriarcado lhe dava, pensando que ia ter liberdade. São liberdades que só prejudicam. Isso é conversa para outras análises. Conversa para outras análises muito diferentes. Não são para outras. Então, isso é uma componente muito importante. A mulher se decide que vai entregar o corpo a um homem, ela já coloca este homem como provável parceiro. O homem já não. Se decide que vai para receber o corpo de uma mulher. Simplesmente eu já dizer uma coisa: gostei do teu corpo, é bonito, e eu posso explorar esse corpo.